Hi, my name is Sally Barnard, an artist, author, and spiritual experiencer. Welcome to Call Me Zena, a true story into the spiritual realms. Join me as I sit and discuss the journey of self-discovery and awakening with the help of my spirit guides. It's time to trust your intuition. This is your inner knowings. Through questions and points of conversation, I can help others feel empowered. With the ability to touch people's past lives, I help others connect and not feel alone. Sit with me and call in live, 888-994-4995.
Hi, good afternoon everybody. We have a nice studio audience here and I believe everybody is here who's meant to be here, so I'm waiting for some really good questions from everyone. Okay, I'm going to open it up to anybody that wants to ask me a question. Hi. Okay, any questions? Dawn, where are you? Oh my gosh, what's going on here? Do you have a question? Anyone in the studio audience here?
Sure, I have a question.
Great, Johnny. What question?
Sally, I know you deal in spirituality, and most of life is based on reality.
Exactly.
And how do we apply our spirituality to our dealings in every day?
Okay, I like that. That's actually a very important question because it took me a while to understand this, but if we listen to our inner self, our inner feeling, just as we were discussing before, how you play the piano and you sing, I also had a very similar experience through my art. I think it will show itself in our everyday life of what we feel very content with what we're doing. So I think it's very important to actually listen to ourselves. It doesn't matter about anyone else at this point, as long as we listen to ourselves, and then it'll escalate into outside our vibrational energy will travel to the correct people. I found that very much so in the studio here. I've been over here for about a year and a half now doing my show, and I come in contact with so many people that I would not have been able to meet had I have not been here. I'm putting that out, and it's really important to continue to do that. Believe everybody, if you have, be it a talent or whatever you're interested in. We were discussing, I'm interested in art. I never was, but I followed what I felt that I needed to do, so I started to paint. And it's worked. And I talked to many people today and they say, I didn't know I could do that. But if you follow your intuition, it'll work.
Amazing. Thank you.
Okay, I'm opening to the studio again. Any
Sally,
questions?
how do people find out the difference between following their fears and following what they should be following?
How do they find out? Well, it's actually basically what you feel comfortable with, Freddie. I mean, if you're doing something and you feel that, I don't know if I'm meant to be doing this, and it keeps going, I'm going to say wrong, but really there's no real right or wrong. But if you feel uncomfortable, then you're not perhaps following what you are meant to be doing here. But if you go, for instance, I'm going to use my art. I stopped painting for a couple of years. I felt the need to start again, and I'm drawing something totally different, but I'm feeling very, very comfortable with what I'm doing. So I feel that I'm on track with my art. But it happens with it. Mine is art. It could be music, it could be acting, it could be anything. But if you feel comfortable, I feel that you're on the right path. Okay. We're getting a lot of pauses here. Anybody wanting to ask me a question?
Sally, how do we know if someone comes into our life and they should stay in our life, even if it feels uncomfortable?
Trust your instinct, your intuition. Even if something is uncomfortable, there may be a reason why they're there to teach us, and not only us, it also teach the person that's making us feel uncomfortable. Go with your gut. I often talk about that, but it's very, very, very important. If you feel uncomfortable with someone, try it. But if you keep trying and you still can't get it with that person, then I'm going to say let it go. But if you're feeling that there's a reason for whatever this is, that you need to figure something out, go with your gut. That will tell you a lot. That's your intuition.
Well, there's going with your gut of things not feeling great, and then there's business and the finances of business. Should you always go with your gut?
Yes, I think so. Definitely follow your gut. But you know what? If you are taking the wrong road as far as that goes, your gut will tell you, I'm getting nowhere, so stop. You can always start again maybe a year from now. But I believe that we get our messages it's in our core. They come out. We feel it. If you feel uncomfortable about something, then go with that. If you're feeling uncomfortable, stop it. Maybe a year from now, go ahead and do whatever it was that you were doing last year.
It's all in timing.
It's all in timing,
But
yes.
Sally, I don't want to feel comfortable. I want to grow. And sometimes being comfortable is a problem because you end up settling for things that you shouldn't settle for, and you think you're doing it right.
That's a very, very good, actually, that's very interesting, Freddie, that you say that. We don't realize that, but we don't always grow. We grow more with sometimes when it's something difficult because we're taking a challenge on. We're meant to do that. Now, that's not to say if something's going all smoothly, we still continue with that. But also, again, it's something that we feel. It's something within our gut. If it's telling us, no, stop, and something keeps going wrong, stop it. Doesn't mean that maybe a year or 2 years from now that we were doing at that time. It's all about timing. There is no timing on the other side. But in our life, as we are here, there is timing. So maybe it's not particularly at that point in time that we're meant to do this particular thing.
I have a question. Sally, you talk about intuition and feeling in your gut. Where does that originate? Does that originate from the life experiences, or does some of the intuitions come from previous?
Okay, that's a very interesting question too. It's a little of everything, if that makes sense to you. We get our intuition, we have what we call a super consciousness that is way down, that brings us into previous lives. So if we're feeling that we need to do something that we have not necessarily done in this lifetime, but we feel a strong urge, I would say, not always, that it's coming from another lifetime. So go ahead with whatever you feel. That's very important. Go ahead with your intuition, be it something that may be completely different from something that we've ever done. But go ahead and follow that. If it's not working out, then it's not working out. But at least be true to yourself. If you feel something that you need to do, do it. It's important.
What about the other way? If you feel a negative
then don't do
thing,
it.
I mean, yeah, I've extracted myself from a couple of situations where the
works both
vibes about
ways.
it were so overwhelming that I just decided to withdraw from it.
Then you're going with what I call your gut feeling. If you feel that that's what you're meant to be doing, that's usually correct. Doesn't mean to say that you shouldn't do it, but the timing is not for what you are thinking that you may do. It may come about a year from now. We choose our timing too. So It's not that you should stop doing it, but you should stop at that particular moment in time, if that makes sense.
But Sally, if you're involved with somebody who does not agree with anything that you want to do or believe you should do, then you have to live with that whole situation. How do you address that? How do you make it so that you don't feel like you're constantly making a mistake?
Again, Freddie, be true to yourself. That's coming through very strong. You need to be very true to yourself. Even if you're getting a lot of obstacles in your way, it doesn't mean that you're doing the wrong thing. You are doing the right thing for yourself.
But how do you know that, Sally?
Because it's a feeling that you get. If you continue with something that you're doing and you're getting opposition, that's their stuff.
Yeah,
that's not necessarily.
But isn't fear the greatest motivator in the world?
Fear is a motivation. Absolutely.
So if you're in a situation where they're installing the fear of failure into you, and you are going to do something that contradicts them completely, then you're not going to turn around and believe and say, oh, maybe they're wrong. You're going to continue to do and follow the path until you wake up one day and you come to the realization that maybe their way is the wrong way.
You can only achieve that by following your path. If you feel comfortable, doesn't matter how much opposition you may get, they're not you, okay? Whoever is giving you that opposition, you follow what you feel is right. You will know if it's right or wrong, but continue doing that until you suddenly say, you know, maybe that person was right. But you know what? You have your own intuition. You follow what you feel is right. That's very important. Does that answer your question slightly, or is there more we can do?
No, I think it answers the question, but I think it's wishful thinking about doing it. I think that a lot of people want to say that, and they want to live the right way, and they want to be where the right fight is. But I think that over 90% of us, we live in the fear of success because others influence us into how they think.
You know, it's easy to say don't be influenced, but that's really very important. Don't be influenced by other people. They have their own agenda. So if you feel comfortable, go ahead truly with what you feel you're doing is correct. Continue to do that. If it feels that eventually that what you're doing is not correct, then stop. But we have to go and follow our own path. Nobody... I am who I am. Nobody can really tell me to go a different direction. Only I can go a different direction if I feel that that's my need, that I should go in a different direction. I am my own person, just like everybody else. Follow what you believe. You will get many times, and I've had a lot of negativity in my path, people saying, what are you doing? I have to do what I feel is my calling, so to speak. Does that answer a little bit more? No? Please go ahead and ask me more.
See, the problem I'm having with this is that I want to believe that. But when I look around in a room of people that they have all the talent in the world, and they don't do it, they don't follow it. They say they're going to, or they want to, or there's a lot of wishful thinking, but they don't. They don't, because they're afraid to be laughed at. They're afraid to question somebody else's judgment. And I'm under the impression that fear, especially when you're with somebody even closer, becomes more difficult to move away from, to go against the grain.
I'm getting this expression, which we hear very often, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can tell somebody something, you can see something or recognize something in somebody, but no matter what you say to that person, if they are not ready, it will not happen.
So how do you get ready, I guess is my question.
How do you get ready? You get ready with yourself. Be true to yourself, what you feel. If you're trying to put on to somebody else that you feel that they could be doing something, there is no amount of what you will say to that person. If they are not ready, they're not ready. You may open a slightly different point of view for them, but if they're not ready, you can't make someone do something that they're not ready to do. You can point it out. You can only do what you're ready to do. Does that make sense?
That does make sense.
Thank you.
It does make sense, and I think well. I think some people are content with approval rather than sending it over the falls and becoming a total success. Success requires perseverance, commitment, daily grind to keep it level, and that takes an awful lot. And I think a lot of people are not ever prepared for that, and approval sometimes is enough.
It may be for that particular
many
person.
people.
Right. Approval is good. You know, we all like to know, I mean, even for me on my show right now, if people like what I'm doing, I feel happy about it. But I'm not, and but you know what? It's us that feels that. It doesn't matter if someone else doesn't feel it. If we go ahead, what I'm doing now, I feel very comfortable with what I'm doing. Someone could come up to me and say, you know what, take another avenue. I'm not going to do that. I have to follow what I feel. But that's me. But with anybody, there are things that I would like to be able to do. Talking to you, I would love to sing. I can't sing, but I'm continuing to sing, and maybe my voice will get there.
You see, the voice is not the heart is connected to the vocal cords.
Right.
And if the heart is connected to the vocal cords, Louis Armstrong would you call him a singer?
I loved him for what he was able to sing.
But the criteria of being a singer is what is that exactly?
Well,
I think it's somebody who is connected with their heart.
We come in with certain things that, let's call them gifts or talents.
Yeah,
we
but
may not ever reach that stage.
there's a purity that exists no matter what the vocal cords produce.
Exactly.
And when you hear the real thing, the connection, heart to vocal cords.
But that transpires out into the universe, doesn't it? If you
Right.
sing a song, which you do, and you play the piano beautifully, that goes out into the airways. We are going to recognize that. If you did not feel that you were doing it correctly, which you are, you're great at what you do, it's also going to go out into the universe. So we're going to say, oh, I don't want to listen to him. We
You
have
hear it all
to
the time.
follow our gut.
Right. I can't be. I personally, I can't be concerned with rejection or you just sing. I often think I'm a bird in a tree, and I'm just singing my song, and whoever hears it and enjoys it, that's the way it goes.
That's all we can do. I mean, I'm doing my show, and hopefully the right people are listening. If they don't like what I'm saying, I can't help that. I'm also helping people that do like it.
Right.
I'm going to sneeze. I always do that in my show. Okay, so as long as we're true, I always get that expression, be true to yourself. If you feel that you're doing the right thing, you know what? It's going to touch people, just as your music has touched me very much, and your voice, because you're doing what you love. There may be people out there that are not ready to hear that, just the same with me. That's okay, but it's also going to the people that want to hear that, and that's very important. We can't please everybody, and that's coming very clearly to me. But as long as we please ourselves and we're doing what we're meant to do, then go ahead and keep doing it.
Well, then, Sally, I got a question for you. When you're in the business and your calling is to build the stage so that people can be heard, and you're telling people, you know, it's a shame how I believe more in you than you believe in yourself. That's just a fact. It has nothing to do with feeling good about themselves, because I got to tell you, the most talented people are the ones that criticize themselves the most, because
that's
they want
okay.
to work perfectly.
That's okay. We don't have to achieve perfection, but they're doing basically what they want to do, and you're helping them, Freddie, by saying or giving them encouragement to do that, just as you did with me when I first came into the studio here. You didn't know me, I didn't know you, but I continued to do what I wanted to do, and you recognize that, and I've been on the show now for over a year and a half. I felt very comfortable with what I'm doing. It's all up to everybody as an individual. Keep doing what you want to do. And if it's wrong, you'll see it too. Excuse me. I'm going to sneeze. That always happens. The spirits are here. Okay. Maybe not. Okay. Does that answer? They're here. That's their way of telling me they're here. Incredible, isn't it? That is incredible. Did I answer the question? They're with you, Freddie. They're with me too. They make me sneeze. It's incredible.
And what about accepting change?
Important. That's a beautiful question, and I like that. Change is good. Any type of change is good. I can use myself as an example. I had not painted for maybe nearly a year, But I did say my art will change, and guess what? It's changed, and I actually feel that I'm doing the best art I've ever done through change. Again, we have a little voice inside us that will tell us that we're on the right track. Change is good. Change is always good. We may not like it, we may feel uncomfortable, but go with it.
Even if it's uncomfortable, as you said.
Definitely, even if it's uncomfortable. It actually even shows you more that you're on the right track when you're doing something uncomfortable, because eventually it will feel comfortable.
Want to go to commercial break?
Yes, please.
All right, let's take Sally to commercial break. More to come.
Oh my.
This world, this life, this illusion. What is going on, we ask? What is happening? Why not take time and see what is happening? This world as we know it, it seems so real and yet so far away from where we've come. Corruption, greed, anger, power, revenge. Please wake up. We can change what is around us. How, we may ask? Learn to go back to where we were. Then we will have the clues. Then we can change and go forward. Please take the time. Do not fall into the game which we have put upon ourselves. We can change. We can make a difference. We have the power, each and every one of us. Go in peace. Go with love. Go as one. Zena.
A true story, Call Me Zena is the telling of Sally Barnard. Born in London, England at the end of the Second World War, she came to the U.S. in 1979. A mother of 2 and grandmother of 4, she settled in Florida and worked in real estate. While going through a difficult time in her life, she was admitted into a hospital overnight in December of 2005. While settling back into her life, she began having vivid dreams and documenting them. By the 3rd dream, a lady gave her a message to draw. With no artistic background or interest in art or history, Sally listened to her dreams and grabbed paper and crayons. Today, she has over 150 pieces of inspiring art and poetry. This book follows her journey and interpretations of these messages. She describes in detail how she's able to astral project and who she has met along her travels, including her spirit guides. This book will show you how anything is possible with an open mind. These events have changed Sally's life's direction, and this book will show you how to change yours. Purchase Call Me Zena on Amazon today.
You have been watching Call Me Zena with your host, Sally Barnard. As an artist, author, and spiritual experiencer, know that you could always seek me out for resources. Visit artbysallybarnard.com today. Now, back to the show.
Hi, the second half of our show. I have to mention this because this is really strange. I do not sneeze that much, obviously, just like anybody else. I do not have a cold. But for some reason on this show, I sneeze. I feel that the spirits are telling me that they're with me. Dawn, you can attest to that, right? You don't hear me sneeze very
Amen.
often, or Freddie too.
Nope, true.
But you know that when they hear, I will sneeze.
So what are the spirit guides telling you today? What's the message?
They're actually, everybody in the studio right now is meant to be here, and they have an important message. I'm not sure, I'm getting this from a different place, but that sneezing is absolute validation for me. So whoever comes forth with the next question is a very important question. I have the answer, but I don't know what the question is yet.
Sandy has a question.
Yes, I have a question about my grandson.
Hi, Sandy.
He's going to be doing a play, and he's got the lead role. And is it going to be successful? I'm afraid, like if it was me, I'd be a nervous wreck having the lead in the play.
You have the answer, and you know that. Of course he's going to be successful. He's got all the components to be successful. He's actually going to be I feel, very well known out there. The more he does this, the more he's going to come to him. He's going to get so many offers, job offers, and before he knows it, he's going to be right out there where he's meant to be, Sandy. I'm not sure how old he is. He's in his, I feel
16.
like he's, okay, I felt like he was 17, 18. Okay, so maybe that's when he's really going to start his career. He's completely 100% on the right track. He likes doing what he's doing, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, he's going to be successful.
Okay.
Absolutely. You know that.
Yeah. Needed reassurance.
And well done to
Okay.
him, yes,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Hi, Sally.
Hi, Josh.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Earlier before, well, I guess I was doing the show, but you asked about a name of Jeff.
Yes.
Do you see that future being more brighter as long with the political elections, I guess, gearing up towards the end of the year?
Okay. I mean, I had no idea you were in communication with someone called Jeff, but the name Jeff came very strong in my mind. Okay, I feel that there's a communication. I'm not sure who Jeff is, but he's here very much talking with what you're doing, the communication that what you're doing. Continue doing what you're doing with Jeff, okay? Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay. There's going to be, I'm getting the word dilemma. Does that make sense to you? There's a dilemma here.
Yeah, there's a dilemma with him. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Ultimately, you need to figure that out, Josh. It's very important. Don't go forward with anything until you figured this dilemma out. I mean,
Yeah.
the name just came to me very strong, so I'm not sure exactly what the message is. But the message for you is there is that dilemma. Don't jump into anything until you've done all the dots, as they say, and whatever they say with that. Make sure that you're on the right track with it.
Okay. I
Okay.
appreciate that. Thank you. Do you have any, instead of spiritual readings for Jeff, do you have any spiritual readings for me?
As always, actually, honestly, your path is very positive. I know I say that to you a lot, but you definitely don't ever give up with what you're doing, thinking you're on the wrong track. You are on the right track. You're in the right place at the right time. Just know that. It's very important that you follow what you feel. You have the intuition to be able to do that, Josh. Continue doing what you feel is good. You are doing everything right now. You sometimes feel that you're not, but don't let anyone persuade you into doing something else. Go with what you want. It's a your path is very, very direct. So feel that, know that, okay?
Sweet. Thank you. I got finals coming up too. Will I be fine?
Will you get fine? Yes, you will, but you'll have to put your time in here too, okay? Does
okay.
that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yep, continue, okay. You got to do that.
Yeah, that didn't come from us. So, Sal, I've got this idea that we've been working on for a year. What was it? Last year was just an idea, and it didn't come to. We didn't do anything with it. This year, I feel the time's right that we need to move forward with some things for the studio. Are the guides telling you anything about this? Is this the right timing, or should I still wait?
No, the timing is right. Just believe that and know that. Although you feel that you're getting obstacles in your way, follow your path. You're not getting wrong messages. I'm hearing that, and I'm going to say it again. You are not getting wrong messages. You are correct in what you want to do. Follow that path. Continue. You feel obstacles in your way, but they will be overcome. Definitely.
This is the right time for growth.
Absolutely the right time, yes.
Absolutely.
I feel that.
Absolutely.
Feel
the
that
right
very
time for
strongly.
growth.
Absolutely. Moving in a
Positive
path.
direction.
You are moving in a positive direction. Isn't that a song that we're singing here?
Well, I don't know. All I know is that the reason I am here and back here is because I find this to be a very positive place. And that's it. That's what I want to surround myself with. People who are moving forward and have positive support for each other.
We each have a position here. I'm hearing that too. I feel, there's a lot going on in my life right now. The moment I enter here, I have nothing but positivity. It's very, very important. We all have a certain niche, and for some reason, when we come together in this studio, it happens.
To me, it's being positive. So it's a mindset that even, I mean, it's a mindset. It's a mindset. So, I mean, not that everything moves forward all the time. Even when you're in a stall, the positive mindset allows you to maintain yourself through that period and then move on.
Absolutely.
When-
And you
when-
know what? I'm hearing the word pause. Sometimes we have to pause and figure out where we're going. We might say, well, we shouldn't take that route, but it becomes negative. If it then becomes positive, we're on the right on the right path, but we need to pause sometime. Just take a look at what's going on in our surroundings and say, you know what, I feel happy about this. Maybe certain things that we have obstacles in our way, but obstacles can be overcome if we're
Without
on
a
the right
doubt.
path.
Sure, surely. Yep.
I feel definitely that you are, and I know you know that. You are.
My path is pretty clear to me. There are factors that I'm unaware of right now that I'm looking at and don't really know how to navigate. But I'm trusting people around me to help.
I was
To
just going
help
to say, as
and,
long as you put
direct.
that energy out there, that you know that, then the right people are entering your path at that
Yeah, that's
particular
what I
time.
feel too.
That's very, very important to
Yeah,
believe that.
you're gonna attract the right people.
You are going to, because that vibrational energy travels, and it travels to the right people in your path. If you don't do that or you feel uncomfortable, then it kind of goes like this. It's not going the right way. But as long as you keep that positivity, you are going correctly. And I feel that you are definitely on the right path. Yes, we all get obstacles, but they're there to teach us too. We can overcome anything if we believe that.
There you go.
Hey Sally, I wanted
Hi.
to know what my guides have for me for this week.
Boy, I love it when you say that, because they're right on form. They're right with you. Okay, they're telling me, I think you've done a little bit of doubting here for a little bit the last week or so. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Stop it. They're telling me stop it. They're here for you. Do not doubt what you feel. They're not going to give you things that you don't need to do. You may feel that, oh my gosh, why am I getting that message? It's too much for me. No, it's not. You're able. They're only going to give you what you're able to do, if that makes sense to you, okay? So continue. They're talking to you just like I am talking to you now, okay? They're giving you the correct information. Do not doubt that. They're very strong with you. You know that. Continue to do. It's going to come a little bit in your dreams too. Have you had anything right now that was a little negative in your dreams?
Yes, my coworkers came to my house with a firearm.
Okay.
So
don't-
every time I went to work, I was just looking at
Oh
them.
my gosh, I'm getting goosebumps. Stop it. You're doing that. Nothing negative is going to happen. Say, get out of here. I don't need you, okay? I'm feeling that very strongly. You have the ability to do that. Tell them, go away. I don't want that, okay? Continue with what you're doing, because the positive side of this and the message that I'm getting for you is it will work out. Yes, we get negativity sometimes, but that's to show us that we don't listen to that. Listen to the positivity, okay?
I just find myself like spiritually annoyed.
Well, then voice it. You know what? Before you go to sleep at night, because they're coming to you in your sleep, say, I don't want any of this. I only want to hear from you if it's positive. Otherwise, I don't want to hear from you. Do that. Please
But-
do that.
The voices are coming from the people I live with.
Well, you can tell them to shut up. Stop it,
That
okay?
doesn't work all the time.
Just say, hey, I don't need this. I only want positivity. If it's nothing good, I don't want to hear that. That even makes it easier for you to do that, okay? Please, I'm getting that very strongly for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sally.
Yes, hi, Margaret.
Wow.
Margaret, hold your mic.
Sally, I know we've known each other for many, many years, and you said I have a guide. Is there any way you can tell me who it is?
Margaret, I can only tell you to trust within yourself. Yes, you have a guide, and one of your guides is Al, which was your husband. He's there with you completely and absolutely. You have Aldo, who was my guide, helping you. You have many, many guides from other lifetimes of people that you didn't even know. Believe that. Know that. I've said this to you many times. I can give you a lot of names. Some of them won't make any, you won't even know who they are. We all have guides, but they're working very hard for you right now, okay? Believe and trust that, okay? And pick up your phone when it rings, okay? Have to put that in there, okay? Because only people that are interested or want to talk to you are going to call you. So there are people that love you here in this lifetime, okay? I'm telling you over the air. Please understand that and know that, Margaret, okay? You are loved, okay? You are loved by people here. You are loved by people on the other side. So quit this that I'm not going to pick my phone up. Pick your phone up. They're telling me, pick your phone up, okay? Only you know what I'm talking about,
Yes, I know,
okay?
Sally. And I have so much belief in you, seen you from the beginning
Thank
before
you.
you had any of this,
Thank you.
and I'm proud of you.
Thank you very much, Margaret. You are my friend and you are loved. How about you, Sandy, over there in the corner?
The funniest thing, I was just going to ask you, do you know anything about my guides or your guides? Any messages?
Actually, for some reason I'm hearing we have some of the same guides, okay? I'm not sure, they're not coming forward with their names. Okay, they're leading you into the right, here I hear the right direction. You very often fight against them, Sandy. You go, you are a very, although you may not know this, a very positive intuition. Your intuition is correct. Follow that. Do not doubt that. They're telling me, please tell her. We're here to help her. But she says, okay, and then you do the other opposite. Stop it. Stop. I've known you for a long time too, so I don't want to bring my own thoughts into this, but you know what I'm talking about, okay? When you get the right intuition, it is the right intuition. They're here for you. They're helping you. Stop fighting that. Believe it. Be positive, and it'll work out for you. Sometimes we have to learn lessons, so we get some of the negativity there. That's going. A lot of that negativity is going, okay? I don't know if you feel that, but it is. So continue now for the rest of your journey to put that positive feeling forward, and you will see unbelievable things, because what I'm doing, you're capable of doing the same thing, and you know that. I've known you a long time, Sandy, and I feel that very strongly. Don't say that to many people. It's not about ego. It's about what we feel, and you have that. Continue to follow your path and listen to your intuition. It's
Sally,
I needed that message.
Sally, if people that have negative things that are going on in their lives, those are all opportunities to sort of figure out what steps to make. I get that. But sometimes those negative feelings become more plentiful than the figuring out. And you have to be able to stay above the rim so that you can see which parts that you can fix. Because you can't control everything. Sometimes you sort of got to let it ride and let it ride itself out. So what words would you give somebody who's going through constant bombardment of this thing and sometimes don't understand that it takes a little bit of sunshine to get it going again, and you just got to stay positive?
I was just going to answer that. You've got to stay positive. Maybe you turn on the radio and or put on something, music that you might like. We all have both sides of this, negativity and positivity. We can go negative, we can go positive. Do something really uplifting. It will change you. If you keep doing that, you'll see that change. It's so important, because if you're having, I'm going to use a bad day again, and everything you feel is going wrong, don't continue with that. Stop it and say to yourself, I say me too, because it happens to me. I'm going to do something that uplifting for me. Mine is perhaps to do some art, or absolutely come to the studio here, Freddie. You've seen that happen to me. I will then raise my vibrational energy. It's human. We're here. We have negative and positive. But let's go more with the positive. We can do that. You know that we can do that. Does that answer your question?
It does, yes.
Good.
Now that you have everybody here thinking.
Thank you. I don't know how far we are into the show, if we're coming to the ending, but is there another time for another question?
Yes, you got 15 minutes, 14
Oh,
minutes.
okay, we got more questions. Great. I have a nice studio audience. See, I'm being positive.
Sally, what do my guides have to say today?
Stop questioning yourself. Butt out. Dawn, you're on the right track. Stop feeling that a lot of these things that you're feeling are follow what you're on the right track. Just truly believe that, okay? Sometimes we all get obstacles, but we overcome those obstacles. You can do that. You do that so well if you believe in yourself, okay? We get these little things that are annoyance to us. Stop it. Don't let other people, in other words, I'm not talking about personally anybody in the studio here, but don't let other people bring you down, okay? And please, disclaimer, it's nobody here, okay? Freddie, it's not you. But do not let other people in your surrounding area, wherever you are, even if you're shopping and someone says something and you hear it, don't let it bring you down. Don't let it change your day.
What do you think's next for you?
For me, it's hard for me to give myself messages, okay? I know that I'm doing and creating the right things. I know that my book and my movie will be coming out shortly. I know that I'm in the right place. I also have to believe that because it's taken a little while, but there are reasons why that's taken a while. So it's going to be what I want to do. I also getting a message that I need to get my art out there. My art is changing. I'm enjoying doing this. I'm going to continue with my art too. So that's my message for myself. It's hard for me to get messages for me. I need another psychic to tell me where I'm going.
Sometimes your artwork or your music is a message for others to listen and learn. So sometimes when you deprive others of seeing it or hearing it, you're depriving them of their growth or their opportunity or their chances to see something that occurs. See, and again, that goes right back to what we do in here every single day. That's what we look for. We look for different opportunities that other people present. But the object of the game here is that you can't lead a horse to water. But the horse then dies in the desert because they never get to a point. They should try. Trying, I think, sometimes is just as important, if not more important, than success.
Actually, it's very important because people say, well, if you fail, maybe that wasn't your right time. Timing is important. Do with what you feel that you feel good. When you're doing something and you feel good about it, continue doing that. I do that with my art. I never know what I'm drawing. I know that if I sometimes stop, which I had this urge to go ahead and start painting again, that my art would be different. I love doing what I'm doing today. My art has changed. I can't wait to maybe put it out there. I don't always make the right effort to do that, but I feel that it's my time to do my art. Follow what you feel deep in your intuition, your gut. Follow it. It will not lead you wrong. If you feel you're doing something wrong, then follow that too. Stop and do something different.
Well, I got another question to ask you on the same point. When you're single doing your trade, is it harder than when you have someone, a co-host or somebody that's in your corner that you can bounce things off? And I'm not talking about on a personal level, I'm talking about on a business level. Is it easier to have two people to bounce ideas off of? Or is it easier to have one person, like Johnny, you do your music by yourself, and then you have to put that whole thing together?
But I think in life, 2 heads are better than one.
10 eggs are better than one.
You know what I mean? Somebody you trust. A lot of the great songwriting teams throughout history have been, Lennon and McCartney.
But there's the word
Rodgers
he
and
used.
Hart.
That's the question, Sally. Someone you trust.
That's so important. It's somebody that you trust, because we get negative and positivity from both sides thrown at us. Mm-hmm. But if you truly trust someone and you've got a good rapport and you feel that that's where you should be going and sharing that opportunity with them, that's a good thing. So it's both. It can be on your own or it can be with somebody, but that somebody has to feel, you have to feel that connection, because without that connection, it might not be the right connection.
I have a close friend who's a musician, a writer as well. And I hope he doesn't see the show, but I don't feel inclined to work with him because of the dynamic. It's got to be his way or the highway.
Well, that's basically what I'm saying, Johnny. It has to be a mutual thing.
Without a doubt.
And that mutual thing could be that it's not the right. It doesn't mean that you don't have to be friendly with them.
Our friendship is solid, but our working relationship is not to be.
And that's your inner gut telling you that. That doesn't mean that you're not going to be as I was going to say, be friendly with that person. But that road that you might be taking with him as far as business or whatever it is may not be where you're meant to be. We all have a place in our lives for somebody else, be it a friend, a business partner, a marriage, anybody. It has a place. Sometimes the rest of that, it's like a jigsaw puzzle, may not always fit in with everything. Doesn't mean that that's the wrong person for that particular thing that they're there for, but it might not be for something else. It's up to us to discern that and see what we feel comfortable with. Just like the other person too. They'll give us messages. We listen. We have to listen. Okay, anybody else with a question? We're getting nearly to the end of the show.
Hey, Sally.
Hi.
Why does it seem like it's always something new? Like a test?
That's what I was talking about before. We are testing. Actually, we're testing ourselves. It's all a learning experience. When things are not always going the right way, then let's say to ourselves, okay, what are we meant to learn? It's a test. Let's see if we can overcome that. We continue to do that all through our lives. We get rid of some things and some things come back. As long as we're aware of it, be aware of it, and then it makes it a lot easier.
Do we let go of the things that are testing us?
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes we have to let go. Because if it's, let's say something continues to annoy us, a person, a place, a thing. After a while, I don't want this annoyance anymore out of my life right now. Probably doing the right thing. Not always. If it keeps coming back, then maybe we need to take another look at it. But most of the time when we've had enough, enough is enough. Good or bad.
Thank you.
If I stay in a situation like that and I continue to feed it, it's going to grow against me, correct?
Not always, Freddie. Yes, if you feel that whatever the situation is and you're feeding that same thing and the negativity keeps coming back to you, probably it's time to whatever it is, it's probably time to take another look at it, because if it's not turning into any type of a positive, I think we're probably done with that for the timing. Timing is very important. Doesn't mean that it's not going to come back, but maybe it will come back in another year showing itself, and it might be the right timing to correct it. Does that make sense to you?
It makes sense.
Good. That's my guide. One of my guides always asks me if it makes sense. Thank you, guide. Okay. I hate this pause. Come on, somebody.
Timing is important.
Timing is everything, Dawn. Timing is everything. Because if we're on a track and we know what we're meant to be doing, although sometimes we don't always know it, it's all to do with timing. So we can think we should have done something last year, but it just wasn't right. We can have that same situation show us itself in our time, because there is no time, and I always say this on the other side, a year later, and that same situation might be right for our timing.
But sometimes, like, think of what's going on right now in England. Right, Prince Charles, it took him, 70-something years to become king, and now he's got cancer. The wife is sick, right, Kate is sick, and now all of a sudden Prince William is being thrust into the forefront and dealing with all these other illnesses around him. Timing?
Yes, that's timing too, because had he have come, talking about the royal family are very much in the limelight, so we see what's going on, but that's a very good indication of timing. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I think that a lot of their situations, they have problems just like anybody else, are all coming to the forefront today, but it plays out in the news. So there's a good indication of whatever is happening. We will see what's happening, but I believe that it's all happening right now for it to play itself out. Let's see what's going on. But the timing wasn't right a couple of years ago. Could it be because Queen Elizabeth was, she might have, I don't know, but she has passed. She's aware of what's going on. I can't really give you messages about the royal family, but it's in our we see what's going on. So I think we'll see something play out that is meant to play out now. It was not meant to play out. This is what I'm hearing a couple of years ago. It's going to play out now.
It's interesting because they say things come in threes, right? So sometimes you're dealing with a sick parent, you're dealing with a sick spouse, you're dealing with work, and all of these things come at you, and you think, how am I going to keep going? How do you tell people to keep going and be positive?
Keep going. You take the ups and the downs. I mean, my life has changed drastically, even over this last year too. A lot of things have happened that I didn't know were going to happen, of course. And it's a challenge, you know, health-wise, not for myself, but people that know me know what's going on in my life with someone that I'm very close with. I did not expect that. But everything has a reason and a motive, and if we continue, the most important is to be positive. It's hard, but just say everything has a reason, and however it goes, accept the way that it's going. We may not always like it, but if we can keep with negativity going on and keep a positive attitude, then however it's meant to, you know, people can say, but I kept this positive attitude. Look what's happening, it's all negative. Maybe that negative is really positive, or it might be happening later in the future.
Sally, how does one measure true success? What's the definition of true success when somebody's attempting to do something?
Only we ourselves can answer that. What is successful for us may not be successful for somebody else. We know what true success is within us. It might be for somebody that wants a whole lot of money and suddenly they've come into a whole lot of money for whatever reason. Somebody else might have a complete health. Only we know the answer to that, true success. True success is different for everybody. I answered it in a slightly different way, but I think if you look into that, and for myself too, we will see the answers to that.
And what do you see happening this year in the spiritual realm?
They're working really hard for us, let's say on the other side of this. Okay, they're working harder than they have done because there's a lot of negativity going on in the world today. We need to change that vibrational energy. Only we can do that because we're here right now in this dimension. We have many people helping us, but we're only as good as what we can do. Listen to us. Let's keep ourselves up. There's a lot of negativity going on. Our world is at, I'm going to say, a crossroads too. And I don't want to make this show negative in any way, but we could go either way. Let's try, and it's best what I'm doing in my short time that I'm doing this on my show, try to raise those vibrational energies. The news is always tremendously negative. You know, if we feel that, let's turn it off for a while. It'll still be there tomorrow or the next day. Let's look at important things in our life today and try to raise that vibrational energy, raise it.
And you've got some new artwork. What has your theme been on the new art?
Vibrational energy. It's funny that you should mention that. That's not coincidental. I am drawing like crazy stuff right now, but I'm enjoying it. It's lifting my vibrational energy with everything that's going on. I can't wait to get to the canvas again and draw something else. What I need to do now is show people, whether they like it or not, that's okay, but I need to put it out there, very much so right now. It's got my higher vibrational energy into it. So we can all do that. It's not ego about me. We all have that opportunity. Let's all try to do that, to raise our vibrational energy through music, as you know, Johnny, music, whatever we can do, let's put that out there. Let's say to ourselves, I'm putting this out there to raise people's vibrational energy. Let's do that. That does not go nowhere. It goes somewhere. It's important.
All right, you ready to wrap this up?
We are. Thank you, everybody, for listening to my show. Same time next week. Please come back. I'm here. Okay, bye-bye.
Coincidence or not, it's time to trust your intuition and knowings. Thank you for joining me through this journey of self-discovery and awakening with the help of my spirit guides. I'm Sally Barnard, and you can find my book, artwork, and contact through artbysallybernard.com. Join us next week. This has been Call Me Zena.